Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are with Kurzgesagt. Yeah. Welcome back to another video. Sending out a lot of love to y'all. What Are You by Kurzgesagt. 6 minutes. Let's hop into this shit. And yeah. Oh, damn, I cursed. Whatever.
Are you your body? Well,
Disgusting.
kind of, right? But is there a line where this stops being true?
I'm just joking.
How much of yourself can you remove before you stop being you? And
Cyberpunk
does the question even make sense?
Here we go, getting into more consciousness and stuff. I think for this one, I'm just literally gonna listen, because if you didn't see my last video, watching like the part 1 to this by CGP Grey, yeah, there's a
Your physical existence is cells. Trillions of them, at least 10 times more than there are stars in the Milky Way. A cell is a living being,
Yep, I
a
can get my
machine
cells
made
to
of
do
up
this.
to 50,000 different proteins. It has no consciousness,
Proteins.
no will,
Proteins.
no purpose, it just is. But it is still an individual. Together, your cells form huge structures for jobs like preparing food, gathering
Does it?
resources, transporting stuff around, scanning the environment, and
Yes.
so on.
yeah.
If you extract cells from your body and put them in the right environment, they will continue to stay alive for a while. So, your cells can exist
Yep.
without you,
Of course.
but you can't exist without them.
True.
If we take all the cells away, there is no you anymore.
Well, there's no you, your human physical self, but I mean, depending on what you believe in, your astral self? I mean, hey, we can't knock it. We can't knock it. You know, you still are a spark of light from God, right? If you believe in God. If you believe that you are God, because there's a deeper path that I won't talk about to the other side, but you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you remove you in the physical, there's still the spiral, the ether, the etheric.
Is there a line where a pile of your cells stops being you?
You're technically
For example,
not this.
if you donate an organ,
You know what? Why am I acting like I have not said this in other videos? From what I believe, my beliefs. And you're entitled to what you believe too. Don't let anyone tell you not. You can have your beliefs. Just don't believe in them all the way to the point where like it makes you like one of those rigid, edgy kind of like seems like you're in a cult type of people. But I'm a spiritual being having a spiritual. I'm not a human being having an experience. How do I mess up the literal easiest saying ever? I did say in the last video that I am just waking up. But still, this is why you get this side of me. This is like, I guess like, there's this weird thing I'm about to say about the ego. But it's like, I'm being the extremer version of myself, but I'm this weird in person. Yeah. So anyways, so I'm not... This is funny too, because me and my girlfriend literally just seen this on a car. Literally, I'm not a human being having a spiritual experience. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. So what are you when this meat sack dies that my soul's just driving in for now? Yeah. When this falls,
billions of your cells will continue to live on inside someone else. Does this mean that a part of you became a part of another person? Or is this other body keeping a part of you alive? Or let us imagine an experiment. You and a random person from the street exchange cells. One at a time, your body
DM me if you're trying to do this. God damn it.
gets one of their cells,
kidding.
their body gets one of your cells. At which point would they become you? Would they ever? Or is this just a very slow and gross way to teleport you? Let's make this more complicated. The image of ourselves as a static thing is untenable. Almost all of your cells have to die during your lifetime. 250 million have died since the beginning of this video alone. Between 1 and 3 million per second. In a 7-year period, most of your cells are replaced at least once. Every time your cell setup changes, you are slightly different than before. So, a
Hey!
part of you is dying constantly.
I think that's the time.
If you are lucky enough to become old, you would have cycled through roughly 1,000,000,000,000 cells.
That's cool.
So what
That
you
is
consider
actually cool.
yourself
This
is really just
Funny enough, this is like stuff I do remember from school. So it's almost like sitting down in a biological history lesson with Kurzgesagt.
a snapshot. But sometimes cells are broken and don't want to die. Questioning the very nature of the unity of our bodies, we call them cancer. They cancel the biological social contract and become basically immortal. Cancer is not an outside invader, it's a part of you that puts its own survival over yours. But you could also argue that a cancer cell becomes another entity inside us, another being that just wants to thrive and survive.
Oh, now he's getting deep with that. I get exactly where that was going. But it was I have to kill you, nothing personal.
Can we blame it for that?
Can we
A
blame
chilling
it?
cell story
Shit.
is that of Henrietta Lacks, a young cancer patient who died in 1951. Usually, cells only survived for a few days in the lab, making research very hard. Henrietta's cancer cells were immortal. Over the decades, they were multiplied over and over again and used for countless research projects, saving countless lives. Henrietta's cells are still alive and overall have been grown to at least 20 decades.
1 second, brother.
A chilling cell story is that of Henrietta Lacks, a young
Henrietta Lacks. I was looking up the name. Yeah, Henrietta Lacks was an African American woman whose cancer cells were the source of the HeLa cell line, or Hella cell line, like her Hella, cause like Henrietta, H-E, and then Lacks. The first immortalized human cell line and the most important cell in human history. She is the one. Henrietta Lacks. I'm sorry, but it really seems like they tried to, no, I don't want to say it, man. I'm not going to be that guy, because you can see me on screen and everyone calls me light skinned. Listen, I'm Native American. This is why I'm this bright. Nah, I'm just joking, but doesn't it almost seem like they try to brighten the image? Nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to claim that. Anyways, what I was saying about looking her up, because I just looked her up, I actually know a lot about this person. I never knew her by name, but damn near. Okay, so I'm gonna let y'all in on something. I don't know if this is just I'm reading it and trying to focus. I usually can that was such a solid left hand snap. My brother Ron would be proud. Anyways, because he's left-handed, he can snap, but nope, and it's gone. See, I was just talking about this in another video. You can never purposefully do it again. That's why you just gotta be in flow state. Just, damn, so solid, man. Anyways, back with Henrietta Lacks over here. Yeah, I don't know if this is like a universal thing in black families, but I swear everyone has a different story on the whole feeling of them using her cell. Okay, maybe I shouldn't go into this, actually. Okay, so I could be wrong about this, and you could easily research. So I need to say this because now in my Jordan Peterson video, I love that people watch like the people who literally treat Jordan Peterson as a god watch the rest of my video to understand what I was saying, because I mostly stay in the middle, especially in videos and in person too. I don't want to over explain myself, so I'm not gonna do it in this video. But the point is always listen to my full video if it seems like I'm saying something one way or conforming to one thing, because I usually don't. I'm usually very in the middle and understand all sides of a story. or even think, I don't know, there was some weird stuff about preconceived notion. I mentioned that in the video, but then there was like people thinking I was like judging him, and I'm like, yo, I'm not even a judgmental person. I don't go in judging. Like, anyways, so what I want to say about this story is listen right here. I don't have the facts, I don't know if this is true, and I don't have the time to be researching this right now. But from all the stories I heard, there was like weird things about like her family or whoever, it would have to be her family, didn't get anything for them using her cells for years. Also, the weird thing about using her cells, there's a real weird thing going on. And then I guess this gets real conspiracy too, where like harvesting cells from, you know what, you could kind of see where it's going. I'll just leave it alone. I'll feel like there's certain things where like my mind, I'm just gonna trust my mind, even though like in another inner voice is like, man, come on, get crazy with this. Why not? Makes you one of the most unique creators on the platform, right? You got to bring some new stuff to the table. But then I'm like, no. And I'm like, you know, I'll just be me and still be unique on YouTube and not say weird things. So, haha, funny joke. They may be harvesting cells from black people. That's all I'll say. Haha, joke though. That's just, yeah, I don't know. And like, it was like an early case of like, there's even, yeah, okay.
Young cancer patient who died in 1951. Henrietta's cancer cells were immortal. Over the decades, they were multiplied over and over again and used for countless research projects, saving countless lives. Henrietta.
See, while that is really great and all, like there was something weird about the stories I was hearing, so just take that into account. There's like some weird thing about it, and I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was something about her not getting the credit she deserved also. Like, it could be that, because, you know, it would be nice to kind of hear about her in school or something like that. I've never learned about her in school. Like, we did not hear one thing about her, and that could be a good way to immortalize her if her cells were really immortal. Her cancer cells. I mean, come on now. Like, that would be a thing. But, you know, I guess she's like, every time someone mentions her or brings her up, she's remembered in that way. But that'd be like a nice thing to remember. And like, maybe like kids, maybe like students who go into the medical field come across her eventually. But still, it would be cool if that was the thing, that she wasn't properly given credit. I don't know.
Cells are still alive and overall have been grown to at least 20 tons of biomass. So there are living parts around the world from someone who has been considered dead for decades. How much of Henrietta is in these cells? What makes one of your cells you anyway? Maybe the information contained in it.
Wouldn't it just be like, it would still be like her, like a percent, like her consciousness isn't really in the cells,
Your
right?
DNA. Until
all the human stuff gets left back here, and consciousness is kind of infinite. So it's like, technically it's not you if the true you is ethereal. What makes up you, but like what makes up this composition of you is
recently, it was believed that all the cells in your body had basically the same genetic code.
Okay.
But it turns out this is wrong. Your genome is mobile, changing over time through mutations and environmental influences.
The bottom right
this
says
is especially the case in your brain.
So I don't want to talk over him. I want to listen. Well, I'm able to listen, but I don't want it to be annoying in the audio. This is not how mutations work.
And environmental influences. Yeah. This is especially the case in your brain. According to recent discoveries, a single neuron in an adult brain has more than 1,000 mutations in its genetic code that are not present in the cells surrounding it.
Damn.
But how much you is your DNA really? About 8% of the human genome is made up of viruses that once infected our ancestors and merged with us.
I am you.
Mitochondria, power plants of the cell, once were bacteria that merged with the ancestors.
If we inside a cell on the mitochondria. Sorry, that's a bar from somebody.
Of your cells. They still have their own DNA. An average cell has hundreds of them. Hundreds of little things that are not really human, but they still kind of are. It is confusing. Let's backtrack a bit. We know
Leaving
that you're made
science,
up of
entering
trillions of
philosophy.
little things made from
Wait, what
more
was the other
bit.
one? Please note that we don't know anything. This is merely an attempt to make stuff I've read in the last few years. Leaving science, entering philosophy.
We know that you're made up
love
of
it.
trillions
Here
of
we
little
go.
things made from more little things that are constantly changing. Together, all those little things are not static but dynamic. Their composition and condition is changing constantly. So we might just be a self-sustaining pattern without clear borders that gained self-awareness at some point and now has the ability to think about itself through time and space, but really only exists in this exact very moment. Where did this pattern start? With your conception? When the first human arose? When life first began conquering our small planet? Or when the elements that make up your body were forged in a star? Our human brains evolved to deal with absolutes. The fuzzy borders that make up reality are hard to grasp.
Reality is wrong. This
Maybe
reality
ideas like beginning and end, life and death, you and me, are really not absolutes, but ideas belonging to a fluent pattern. A pattern that is lost in this strange and beautiful universe.
I just started getting fucking chills, bro.
The problem of who we are isn't just a question of
our cells, but it's also a question of our minds. Just as our cells...
Whoa, okay, that's fucking trippy. I see what they did. What the fuck? You guys are genius. Well, now this starts getting into more philosophy like you guys or me. And I feel like that was the moment I just had there, where their voices started to overlap. That was the scariest thing ever.
A small planet, or when the elements that make up your body were forged in a star, our human brains evolved to deal with absolutes. The fuzzy borders that make up reality are hard to grasp. Maybe ideas like beginning and end, life and death, you and me, are really not absolutes, but ideas belonging to a fluent pattern. A pattern that is lost in this strange and beautiful universe. The problem of who we are isn't just a question of
our cells, but it's also a question of our minds. Just as our cells can be divided and separated from us, so can our very brains be divided and separated from us, while still in the skull. Click here to go to my channel and watch the next part.
Okay, so now go watch CGP Gray's video. If you're not yet subscribed to his channel, you should really change that now.
That like soundtrack at the end makes me want to like legit freaking cry, bro. What the fuck? Like how they did that was so clean because, oh my gosh, this has just been the question lately, like over and over, bro. Is I just keep saying like we're all like, consciousness aside, we're all just, I guess to the people who are aware of it, we're literally the same thing. Like, and it really is just one weird ass pattern. And like what happens when you get closer to understanding that? Jesus.
Problem of who we are in this strange and beautiful universe. The problem of who we are isn't just a question of
our cells, but it's also a question of...
That's so, oh my gosh, that made me want to cry. It's so strange and beautiful. I'm done, bro. Bro, my mind, bro. I can't take any more of this reality warping stuff. I've been dealing with it for the last 4 years. Actually, no. Because I thought about this when I was 14, man. I was like, I'm 22 now, and I used to think when I was 14, I literally asked, I think when I was 13, asked my stepfather. I was like, why are we here? Why do we exist? What is this? And I swear, as I began to ask that question, you know, he tried to give me the best answer. Actually, we had this conversation again the other week, and that shit was so funny because I got so deep that he was just like, what the hell? I feel high talking to you. Like, but, you know, it really is like, what's the point? I'm done. Okay, I'm completely just kidding. I ended the video. I meant to only pause it and like make a cut, but I want to just say Much love in Moonlight, bro. I don't even know what to think. Much love in Moonlight. I'm just gonna keep being me, and just, yeah. I love you guys. I'm out of here. Remember to just meditate and always question reality. This game is a fun game, because why would we be playing it if we didn't want to play it? Am I right? I'm out of here. Take care.